Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my course Essentials of SQL Server Performance for Every Developer. You are watching the video of Module 2 Analyzing SQL Statements for Performance, Part 5 Improving Statement Performance by Adding an Index. If you are new to this course, please start it from the course introduction video for better understanding. Thank you. I bought the execution plan for our SQL statement back. And by now we realized this operation here, the cluster index scan, that is responsible for most of the cost of this SQL statement. As we discussed, this operation is reading all 37 lakh rows, which is 12,000 pages from the table, just to find out the handful of rows that we need for one student. So there is a lot of waste here. So what we can do now? Well, actually, you have probably noticed that SQL Server has given us a hint and it's telling us that we really need to create an index on this table. So, I am going to right click on this recommendation and go to the missing index details so that we can see exactly what is telling us. In this case, the suggestion is to create an index on the student ID column in the course enrollments table. And that exactly that we want to do. If we look back at our statement, we are using the student ID column as a filter, so we can find just one particular student, and if we think about this table in the larger context of our application and how it might be used, it is going to be pretty typical use case that we have a student ID and we want to find out of all the courses that a student is enrolled in. So creating an index on the student ID column of the course enrollments table will allow us to quickly search for course enrollments by student ID. And that's make a lot of logical sense. So let's go ahead and get this index created. So I just need to uncomment this and then go up here and I will have to give this index a name. And this is just how I like to name indexes. You actually can give it valid name that you want to. And then I am going to go ahead and create this index. And so that will take a few seconds here and there we go. And so now let's head back to our SQL statement and we will get a new execution plan and see how things have changed. Okay, we can see out here that the cluster index scan operation has been replaced with an index seek and then a key lookup. So if we go and we look at this here, we see the seek predicate now is on the student ID. So we are using the index to look up the students and notice the cost of this operation. It's down there around 0.003 it looks like. So this is much cheaper than the 10.92 value that we saw before. Now as we talk about in the module 1 part 6 at this course, all this does here it lookups just the information in the index and then we have to go to the table to get the actual data for those rows. So that's what this key lookup is here and it's doing that with a nested loop join, and so this is what actually going up and looking up the data in the table so that we can get the data to come out here. So we can see that the rest of the plan looks basically the same. If we do look at the overall query, though we see that our estimate cost now is around 0.207 right in here. Remember before it was way up over 12.01. So we have seen a significant saving here. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to run this query again. And I still have the statistics turned on, so we can see the number of IO and the amount of CPU that it's using. So I will run this and look at the message tab. And you can see here, first of all, on logical reads, before from the course enrollments table, we had over 12,000 logical reads. And now we are down to 134 only. So by using that index, we are traversing the tree structure of the index. We are doing much less work before. And that's accounting for our statement being more efficient. you see down here at the bottom of the SQL Server execution times, we are actually showing 0 both for CPU and elapsed time. In reality, it's probably isn't 0 CPU time or 0 elapsed time. It's just below the measurement threshold. So again, now we have a very efficient statement. So I am going to take this result and put them on a slide so we can discuss them. I have summarized the result on this slide, and as you can see, the improvement is dramatic. Now you might be thinking that the elapsed time only improved by approximately 100 milliseconds. But remember, I am the only user on my PC running SQL Server. On an actual production system, you may have hundreds of user running statements at a time. And you may also be dealing with the datasets that are much larger than what I have in my sample database. So, on an actual production system, the efficiency of the first statement would certainly result in a less scalable system and would probably also result in the longer wait times for users, as this inefficient query used up all the resources, causing contention on the server. I have actually seen this before, where a single query that was doing a full table scan brought an entire system down, because the query was run often enough to consume all the CPU on the database server, which then slowed down every other SQL statement in the application, because those statements were having to wait to get on the CPU. So, it is really a key to keep all these SQL statements in our application running as efficiently as possible, especially for statements that are frequently run in our application. With that in mind, let's look at another SQL statement that we need to tune in the next video. But in this case, the answer is not to add an index. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.